Okay, I can live on Facebook, and I came in just now and I find out that the live show was not with voice, so I have to start all over again. I just want you to get this, and you are going to get it because while I was moving on with my life, I used to hear a lot of things happening in real estate. A lot of people, because they don't understand documents, they don't understand titles and terminologies, so they falling prey to a lot of omonile, or who we call land grabbers. And because of that, I think that there is a very important reason for you to know some of these things so that you can be fortified, you can use the knowledge to help others, because it is a very disheartening stories that we've heard about people losing their money to both the government and land grabbers. So it is a good one if you can just share also, because someone will need it. And another thing I want you to do, if you have a land, if you bought a land, you need to go inside quickly and bring out the documentation on your land so that you can know what you've bought. So let me start with this. There are two types of land. There are two types of land. We have the free land, especially in Nigeria. And the case study is Lagos. The case study is Lagos. So we have the free land and we have the acquired land, the government acquired lands. You see, before 1987, what happened is that the owners of the land are the people, the villagers, the settlers in that domain, the tribes that owns the land. Their ancestors owns the land, gave it to their great grandparents, and is passed down like that. And that has been the practice for a long time, until during the military era that they enact a law that is called the Land Use Law of 1987, that says that there are some specific areas of land that is owned, acquired by the government in trust for the people. But you know that there's nothing in trust. They are the owner anyway. But it's supposed to be in trust for the people. That means that it should be used for the development, the progress of the people in that area. But in Nigeria, the way thing works, the government acquires it or takes it over, uses it for his own, sell it to his own people, let's not go there. So we have two kinds of lands. We have the free lands and the acquired lands. The government acquired lands. So when you hear acquired land, acquisition land, government acquired land is all the same. Now, the free land is called the freehold. The freehold does not have any government encumbrances. It doesn't have anyone contesting it. So it is free, it's a virgin land. And it's usually owned by the settlers. It's owned by the villagers. It's owned by that tribe that are living or that have been living on it. And most of these lands are in the rural areas. Now, the government acquired lands that belongs to the government as a result of the land use decree. It's a decree. It's a decree because it was by the military. So now it has the urban in view. Many areas in the urban are acquired lands, government acquired lands. Now, I want you to understand, I'm using Lagos as a case study. Now, you will understand that Ibejuleki was carved out from Old Epe. So, most of the land in Ibejuleki is, or they are, government acquired land. They are acquisition lands. And so you have to be careful when you are buying land from that area. Whereby right inside Ekwe, you have the freeholds. A lot of the lands there are freeholds. And when you have freeholds, when you buy a freehold land, you can begin to process the C of O. That's what it means. You can do, you can do your survey, register your survey, and, with the deeds of assignment put together, you can go to the land and begin to process your C of O. That means the certificate of occupancy. So that is for freeholds land or free lands. Now, for government acquired land, there are two kinds again. You have the committed land and the uncommitted land. The uncommitted land is also called the general or the global acquisition land. So, now the uncommitted land is the kind of land that the government has a plan for. The government has already put it in its plan to do something with it. Why the global general or the uncommitted land are land, though they were under government acquisition because they belong to that region of urban area, but they don't have a specific usage for it now nor in the future. Now, the problem is that a lot of people, they bought into government committed lands or committed acquisitions, and they didn't know. And the truth is that you can have your way for the next 10 years. It just takes one day a governor coming in and say all people that are viewed on committed land should leave, or they will have to deal with the law. And let me tell you something, you will not be compensated. That is why you need to do your research. There's what they call due diligence. You need to do your due diligence. So, now, for the uncommitted, what you need to do is to solicit or to go through a process called accession. That is a process whereby the governor releases the land for you so that you can buy or you can use. So the committed acquisition land is no. I want you to repeat it again. No. But the general or the global uncommitted land, you can go into a process that is called accession. And when the land is finally exercised, that means that the governor or the government has released it for you, then you can begin to process your governor's consent or your C of O. So, do you understand that? Let's go a little bit further. Now, accession is a land that be exercised or a land that been released by the government to the community. And these land are always gazetted. Now, what is gazette? Is a title document that the government or the governor of a state publish that shows the location, the region, and the people that the governor has released the land for. The villagers, the owners that the governor has released the land for. He has given it to them or released it to them. You understand? So that is Gazette. Gazette is a document that has all these publications of the governor's part when it comes to the land. And it has names of villages, families that the governor has released the land onto. So it is possible for you to buy a land that is gazetted. And if you are buying a land that is gazetted, it's as good as you buying a land that has a C of O. And to me, gazetted land is almost the highest land document or title that you can have from the government. Because if you compare the gazette and the C of O, what is C of O? C of O is right of occupancy, which is given from the government or from the governor to an individual or to a set of people, giving them the right to own and occupy that land for a period of 99 years. And don't ask me what will happen after 99 years. I don't know, because it started in 1987, so we've not gotten to 99 years. Well, rumor has it that you may have to renew it, or the land will go back to the government. You understand? I don't know what will happen, but that is the truth concerning C of O. It has 99 years of usage. But the gazette is forever. The gazette does not have a specific period. And to me, I've never seen a gazette being revoked. Yes, the truth is that a C of O can be revoked by the government. It may be a political reason. We have seen a case in Ibadan where the former governor acquired some land and gave his own people in his own party those land, and they quickly issue C of O for them or to them. But when the other governor came in, he revoked the whole thing, man. He revoked the thing. So C of O can be revoked. But under normal circumstances, if the governor arises to say, okay, now we want to use your land, they can take your land, but you'll be compensated. You'll be compensated. If the government takes your land and it has a C of O, you'll be compensated. You understand that? So let's go a little bit further. I said a gazette is a publication that has the lands that the government is holding and the one he has released for people to possess. And under C of O, which is right of occupancy, you have the global one. The global C of O is the one that is released to a set of community. It's not only one community. You have a village C of O. You have different kind of C of O. You have industrial C of O. That means that it's released for industrial purpose. You have individual C of O, which is a normal C of O. We all know. You have agricultural C of O. And let me tell you something. If you are given agricultural C of O and you go and build a house on it, you may forfeit that place. It is possible for you to forfeit it under law. So you must not only have a C of O, check the kind of C of O that you have in or on your land. Now, let's go a little bit further than that. To when you have an a land that be exercised, and you are buying such a land, what happens? What you need to do is not to relax. If you are buying into an estate, you can relax a little bit, but you should still have it in mind that you should process your governor's consent. But if you are buying from an omonile, the first thing you need to do quickly is to collect the deeds of assignment. Even buying into an estate also, they will give you the deed of assignment and a survey. That survey, you need to go and use it to register for another survey, which is called the registered survey or the red survey. You understand? The red survey or the registered survey is a survey or survey that shows that you are the present owner, the current owner of the place, shows your jurisdiction, the design, the shape of your land is there. And everything about that land is kept in the survey. That's why you need to go and register your survey at land in Alawusa. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. So now, if you're buying from Omonile, please, what you need to do is that immediately don't only collect receipt, because some people, what they are saying or what they are having are receipts. And receipt just show that there is a transaction between you and them that involve an amount of money. But under law, it doesn't show that you own or you have acquired a land. So don't relax and say you have a receipt, so you have a land. No, you don't. Under law, you don't yet. So you need to do what we call deeds of assignment. Deed of assignment is a legal document tenderable in the court that shows that a seller has given all the ownership and the rights, all the rights that is on that land to you as the buyer. So when you get that, because that one is prepared by a lawyer, their own lawyer, then you bring your own lawyer in to see and look at it whether it is quite all right or adequately prepared. So with that, you will take a surveyor and survey that land. They will plot the graph, look at the coordinate, and they will give you everything concerning that land. And they will put, I've forgotten is it the blue ribbon? I've forgotten that name. I will remember when we get to survey. I have to check out a real, solid, authentic survey document. So now for today, but they will give you everything. Then you must go to the land and register it immediately. Because whosoever registered the deed and the survey first will be the one that the law will recognize. So when you have registered it, what you will receive is the governor's consent. The governor consent is a document also showing that the law or the government is aware of the transaction, and you are now recognized as the bona fide owner of that land. So when you have the governor consent, you are the bona fide owner, and you can contest the land at any court. You understand? So now, what am I saying in a nutshell? You need the governor's consent. Even if you buy into an estate, you may not push yourself to do register, survey, and get your governor's consent. But have it in mind that you should do it. Don't rest. But when you are dealing with Omonile direct, you need to go and quickly, the moment you collect it, package everything together, right to Alausa, because this is where they get a lot of people. Because they know that you don't know what you're doing, they will sell the land to more than 3 people. And you guys, you think you own land. Even let's say the 5th person bought it after the 4 people had already paid, and they are all giving deeds of assignment. Let's say the 5th person took his own deeds of assignment and the registered survey, right to Alausa and record it and got the governor's consent. He is a bona fide owner under law. That is the person the law will recognize. And all of you that bought it, there's what we call caveat emptor. Caveat emptor. Buyers beware. There is a need under law that you must do your own due diligence before you buy a land. So you don't say you don't know, but I bought it first. No, it doesn't work like that. It is the person that goes there and register the deeds and the survey plan that will be giving the governor's consent. And when you have it in the record, anybody that you want to sell your land to, the title now changed to governor's consent. And governor consent is as good as Gazette, is as good as a C of O. And I want to say this also. There's only one C of O. There is only one C of O. Everyone that bought after that person will only get a governor's consent. You don't go to the land and change the C of O to your name. No, it will still carry the former person, the first possessor of the land, name, it will not, you will not take it there, but you will be able to possess governor's consent. So that when the time comes and they ought to do a research, they will have to do what they call the root C of O, the root title. So they will go back to the original owner that has it. It doesn't matter whether the lands are changed and for more than 10 times. And for more than 10 times, they can still trace it. And everything is contained in your registered survey. Your registered survey is the book of life, the story of your land. Anybody that gets your registered survey can easily read the history of your land. The person can locate where your land is. The person can know what has been going on your land, can know the jurisdiction of your land. And that is why you need a registered survey. And a registered survey is a document. Freehold is a terminology. Accession is a terminology. Though a lot of us we call it a title, but it's a terminology that tells you that this land is given, approved by governor for you to use. That is just what it means by accession. Now, let me quickly say this concerning accession. Accession lands are always cheaper because it's going through the process. And you have to be careful when you are buying such a land. Because during accession, let me tell you some things that happen, and you need to put your ears to the ground and understand this thing. This is one of the way the developers dupe a lot of people, scam a lot of people. Because now they are buying the land that is under accession, or we call it accession in process. It has not become an approved accession. That means they are filing, they have made petition to the governor or the government that since the land is uncommitted, they want to acquire it and use it. So now, most of the time, it takes a long time. When they say accession in view, that means accession in process. It takes a while. It takes a while. Politics, everything is there. It's man, no man, money matters and all this. So it takes a while. And when you are having the accession, it's not guaranteed. So it's guaranteed that land will be given to you, but it's not guaranteed that all the land will be given to you or to the developer. This is where you need to be smart. This is where you need to understand what you are saying, what you are doing, what you are paying for. So what happened is this. Let's say a developer petition the governor for 90 acres of the land. And, a developer doesn't wait to have accession approved. He begins to sell and tell you the land is under process. The accession is under process or accession in view. And at the end of the day, out of 90 acres that he has requested for and paid for, he was only giving 45. Meanwhile, the developer has sold all the 90 acres. So you know that there are some lands that will still be under governors or government acquisition. And if you're unfortunate that your land fell or falls into those ones, maybe out of the 45, your own is 46 plots. That means your land is still under acquisition. And what developer will always do is that they will reprocess it again. But the danger is that while they are reprocessing it just to acquire more, the governor comes in and says he wants to use that space. You will forfeit it. So that is why when you are buying a land that is accession in process, you need to be smart. You need to ask for the survey. So that the survey will have the coordinate whereby you can see where your land falls. Maybe it falls really under the approved accession or is way out of the leagues of the approved accessioned land. You understand? So you'll be able to see plainly that, see, this land you want to sell for me is not among those land that the governor or the government has approved for you as exercise land. And they will not have anything to do. Though in some clauses they will promise that if anything happens, they will relocate you, they will give you another land. It's always there in the agreement. But what I'm saying is that you need to be very careful. Accession land are always cheaper than a C of O land. And it's cheaper but riskier when it comes to risk. So what do I want to say in all these things? You need to know terminologies, you need to know types of land, and it's easy for you if you can just go over this again and just assimilate it. Try to understand what I've said. It is clear, so that next time when your friend asks you for an advice on land, you can say, this is what I know and this is what I think is happening. And let me tell you something, every now and then people are buying lands. That is why this kind of live show needs to be shared. You just need to share it. I'm not collecting money for it yet, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not collecting money for it yet. I'm just saying it live and direct and telling you things that you need to know. So it doesn't cost anything. Just do a favor for a friend, me and your friends that is going to be buying land, or those ones that have bought land. Some people are already sitting on a gunpowder and they don't know. Just like people that bought lands into pipelines. You know, I pity all those people. Because one day a governor that understands land and want to make everything right will just say, everybody that built along pipelines should just vacate, and he comes demolishing it. And that's what happened with El-Rufai in Abuja. When he rose up one day and said, all the people that are occupying government acquired committed lands should find their way out. And people cried wolf, foul, and all this. But the governor will always win. The government will always win under the law. Except the governor or the government is going against the law. That is when he will lose or compensate you. And that's just the way it works. So please and please and please and please, this is not YouTube. I will have said give me a thumb up or subscribe and all those things, but just watch out. I still have a lot of things to say. Something I just discovered many things that could have helped a lot of people, and I'm going to talk about it in the coming live show. Thank you so much, and have a good rest night.